Hey, I'm Dukes on Twitch. If you want to support the channel and greensunzenith.com, you can find my Patreon, merch store, and singles store where you can buy singles through TCG Player or Card Hoarder in the video description. If you want to get in contact, you can also find all that info in the description below for things like donation deck lists or just wanting to reach out. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey, a huge thank you to my current patrons who support my content and are the ones to thank for keeping mid-roll ads off my videos. It's really humbling to be supported by other players from all around the world. I absolutely love being a member of the Maverick and wider Legacy community, and it's a real privilege to have the voice I currently have within it. If you want to join the Zenith or support me in other ways, check out the video description on how to go about that. Alright, let's do this. There we go. Hey team, welcome back to Dukes on Twitch. Back today with a Abzan Depths deck. This is with some pretty cool cards. Playing main deck Thoughtseize for some of the combo matchups. Maze of Ith as a additional removal piece, which also interacts well with Knight and Reclaimer by untapping them. Echoing Deeps is a card I haven't played around with much, but hopefully here it's okay. Oh, I did want to play Ramanap, and I just missed that out. So let's take out an endurance for that. But yeah, I've been seeing Sprouts do well with Depths online, especially with Thoughtseize, so wanted to try it out. And again, just have a pretty clean board in terms of what we're wanting to fight against. Veil of Summer I've really enjoyed recently, so hopefully Veil does a lot of work here. But yeah, it's cool to see the amount of Depths decks running around. You know, players are testing out cards like Bombardiers instead of Minsk and Boo, in some Naya shells, which looks really strong. Alright. On the play, with a pretty nice hand. If we had a fetch land, we'd be able to Green Suns for Reclaimer and have it as a 3/4. We do have Crop if we do want to do that. Right. Mox. Pitch Dryad Arbor. And then I think it is Mox, Pitch, Savannah, Play Stage, and then Green Suns or Reclaimer. Windswept. Okay. The issue is if they swords here. Oh well, okay. I was going to say we have to then crop away the stage, which isn't too great. But at least now we get to hold up Reclaimer. We actually just have the combo now, which is quite nice. I'm going to hold back the Reclaimer as if we're going to use it. I kind of want them to tap out next turn. Renegade, get back a land. Okay. They didn't have swords on the opening turn, which is usually the best time to deal with Reclaimer, so we can't go and get something else. So I could just go for it here. I could also bog them, but I don't think that's worth it. I think we're just going to turn this Plains into a Flagstones.
I could also go for Depths, and then if we have a mana, we can crop for Sejiri Steppe. Hey, Acolyte, too kind, too kind. Been having issues recently with my internet just dropping out for like a second and then coming back. It's really annoying when you stream, so at least the recording isn't too bad here. So I think if they do have removal, they probably should have responded to me using Reclaimer, because now I can just get rid of the Flagstones to protect this. But just a small thing. Yeah, one thing about Australia as well is the upload speed is really bad. I think if I get double digits, I'm very happy. Okay. Wasteland's nice. Wasteland allows us to play around Karakas and Wasteland, which is really cool. So we have 2 mana to activate stage, 2 mana to use for Reclaimer. Okay. What are the chances of them having another swords? They'd have to have Scrubland. We're definitely not doing anything. Maze does nothing, and Karakas comes in tapped. I think we kind of have to call the bluff here, or else we're taking a fair amount each turn. And each turn we don't go for it, we're allowing them to draw into swords. Keep this one. No! At least we're gaining 20. The buy's like 4 turns, which is pretty good. Okay. I think now we're just rebuilding, getting stage first. Hey Doctor, welcome. Fiend is pretty good here. Yeah, very true. Like, the clock, thankfully, is pretty slow. It's a 7-turn clock. We can end step, go and get stage. I almost don't want to fetch either. I just want to get rid of this. Get stage first as it comes in tapped, and then next turn doesn't matter. If Depths comes in play tapped. Endurance. Okay. Bowmaster. Sure. It's pretty nice with Fiend. I think one thing to think about is Collector Ouphe out of the Fiend Artisan, no matter what they go for. Which is tough as well, because they could go for... I guess we can float the mana in response to Fiend. Facing Mav, yeah. They have one card left. Thankfully, Knight takes 2 turns to get Karakas or Wasteland. They could go for a flyer or like I think the best draw for us is a green card, because it means we can pitch Endurance, put Step back in the deck, which makes them play around Endurance here. So we will just float. They have 1 card left. They could get Grist and then change phase. That would be annoying. Is Grist destroy? Endurance. Okay. That's going to be fine. Depths. We now actually have the step back in our deck, which is a big thing. Yeah, having step back is huge. Just don't allow their last card to be Karakas. That'd be brutal. They can still attack with the beast. No. Nice. I mean, we could even swords the Endurance and then attack, but I'd rather just... Pro green. Nice. Yeah. Really tough. Really tough for them. I like the parts because I care about knights. Don't really need the Outland. Thoughtseize is not as great. Bowmaster isn't that efficient either. Veil, not that great. Leyline, I think Bog and Endurance is typically good enough. Doorkeeper doesn't do a whole lot. Honestly, it could just be cutting down on Thoughtseize. Bowmaster. Like, the best trade is probably a 1/1 Fiend Artisan. But otherwise, don't really care. It's like you can go after their mana, but I'm not really in the business of mana denial. Yeah, it's really only Renegade Rallier. I think I'll just do something like this. I like everything else, I believe. I think if I was on 3 depths, I would cut 1. A 1-lander. Not a big fan of a 1-lander. Especially against a a deck like Maverick, it's going to go after your mana pretty aggressively. Okay, actually pretty happy with this. The maze probably isn't needed. Their main creature is going to be Knight, which obviously untapped is great for them. Fiend Artisan, great for them. Doesn't interact with Questing Beast. Keep in bottom of the maze. And we still have one piece of the combo. I think as well, one thing that I really like doing is not swordsing just a mana dork and going after the actual threat they cast. A little bit awkward if it's Grist, but I'd hate to swords a noble and then 2 turns later they play a knight and I don't have an answer for that. Reclaim is nice. I think because of what we just sort of talked through, I'm happy to go for a Reclaimer here off. Potentially Bayou to draw into. Then we have to play the Karakas to swords. Yeah. It's also the only duel we have double ups of, I believe. I don't want to play the Safekeeper out until I'm actually happy to save it. It's probably one of the best cards in the deck. And obviously, Bowmaster is a really nice way to remove it early on. Taiga, I did not expect red. What's this? Bombardiers? Green Suns for 2. Ooh, maybe Morlock. Nice. Cool. Okay. I think I'm happy just to throw out the Karakas, hold up sword, but then also hold up crop on the Karakas. This turn we can hold up these two, and next turn play Forest, play Safekeeper, and then the following turn Depths, hold up crop. There's Knight. So there's our swords target. Mox would be cool. They have 2 cards left. Okay. I think now is the time. Very cool. Cool build. Looks like a 4-color build with Morlock and Bowmaster. They put a Karakas into the bin. Interesting. That makes me think they have another way to just keep the combo off the field. Or they have Ramen up. Or maybe they don't have an answer to the Safekeeper, and therefore Karakas does nothing. No black mana yet either, so by getting the Lush, that means they can't play a Bowmaster to aggressively go after the Safekeeper. Alright, I think in upkeep we just crop. Probably the Karakas away. It could also just be the Savannah. Okay. Interesting that they use it now. I guess if we save crop, we have 1 land left, but they have 2 cards. Yeah, I think it's the Karakas. Get depths. Oh. We love a challenge. We love a challenge on this stream, so we're all good. Okay. That is quite funny. Okay. At this stage, I'm not using the Safekeeper, so we might as well like F6. Okay. I'm inclined to hold back here. I guess a crop off the top does it. But yeah, pretty unfortunate misclick, but can definitely happen when you stream. But not worth lolling on. Lock. Take 5 and go to 4, and then we can block this with Dark Depths next turn. Yeah, I don't think we actually have a way out. Like, even Bowmaster off the top, which gives us 2 bodies and deals with the Dryad Arbor, is just a little bit too slow as well. Tough. Knowing they play Morlock, I kind of like the Thrulls. I guess it also hits, like Bowmaster doesn't really do a whole lot, but there's no X ones that I really care about. Happy to keep this. Happy to lead on the Yav. Just try a really aggressive. Like a swords opening here would be pretty great for us. Just because we have 2 more to play. And mana acceleration from them into threat we don't really have an answer for right now. Okay. Pretty happy to fetch here. Get Bayou. And then just jam Reclaimers. No red, which is good, so no Morlock. Bowmaster doesn't do anything. There's a red. Okay. It's just Green Suns? Fiend. Okay. Crop. Ooh. That's kind of nice. I think in this case I like attacking with all and then just playing a knight. Could even two-turn it. Kind of force them to use the Fiend for an endurance. I don't think that's great though. I think there's probably better things to use the crop for. Putting them to 9 is pretty nice. And then hold up the knight. The Fiend kind of puts him in a position to work sorcery speed, which is nice for us, so potentially that's a reason not to use the crop. Could crop for just stage, but that only puts another land in the bin. Would have to crop for fetch or crop for Wasteland then, but then we're off casting the knight, so I don't mind this. Yeah. Just fetch for the other Bayou. Like if they want to endurance, that's pretty much their whole turn. So they can also untap the Fiend Artisan here, which is noteworthy. Swords is pretty huge. There's no great attacks. So I think we're just going to Swords the Fiend and then hold up a Reclaimer. I don't mind that. We could like sack and Wasteland ourselves, but that's not great either. I guess we can also cast the other Knight. That's kind of cool. Also noteworthy that with Yavimaya in play, they can return the Scrubland with Scrub Ranger, as it is a forest. Yeah, honestly, I think I like just putting everything on board. And then we don't really care about holding up, say, Thespian stage. Don't care about land, because I had all the mana in the world with the Scrib. Another Fiend, okay. Then they have 3 mana open thanks to Scrib Ranger. That's actually quite interesting. That allows us to go and get Safekeeper. The mirror to a blue player for sure, Jack. I think it's just Scrib and then attack with everything. They have another endurance, they have another endurance. But if they have another endurance, they should cast it after we sack the first land. Protect this. Sack this. Nice. I know that lands is pretty well positioned. I should have pushed further through. Yeah, that's all good. Nice. Yeah, I think it was a pretty tough spot for them, but nice to be aggressive with the deck. Yeah, land seems like a good choice. It's won a lot of challenges. Their version was cool though. Very cool to see 4-color. Obviously Morlock and Bowmaster are quite strong. Alright. On the play with a pretty sweet hand. Fetch, Mox, Pitch, Verdant, Fetch, Savannah, Green Suns for Reclaimer. Omniscience. Interesting. Show and tell. Potentially mono blue. I've seen some mono blue versions running around. Okay. I don't mind just holding up the endurance here. But obviously a little bit weak to like Ancient Tomb Show and Tell. Lorien revealed? Yeah, okay. Different islands. Okay. We're just gonna hide black for now. We don't have to get it because we do only have Thoughtseize, and we can cast it off the Mox Diamond. I don't think I even want to target anyone here. Maybe them. Maybe there's a world where they're playing Merc. Crop's pretty nice. They pitched to Omni before, so I'm going to assume this is just mono blue show and tell. Crop's nice because it can be a way to play around them putting in a big creature, but also us trying to find the combo as soon as possible. Yeah, they pitched Omni. Interesting, so they're brainstorm locked. No, they're not. Okay, maybe they're a version with intuition. So I will try to take this out. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, we played against Stifle Nort the other night. It was a Bant version, which was kind of cool. We do have a 3-turn clock, which is nice. 4 mana. The One Ring. Okay. That's fair. Green Suns. I don't mind just going for Reclaimer here. I also think I do just want a Wasteland. No, probably not. I could crop for Wasteland, but with the One Ring in play, they're probably not going to miss mana. And I think I'd rather just hold a crop in case they have like put in Emrakul or something. Ouphe is in the board. I sometimes see play in the main deck. If they use the Tomb, we have lethal, which is nice. It is for Maverick, but for Depths, you kind of rather just go in on the combo game one, and then post sideboard just have anything that is a little bit more narrow, like Collector Ouphe. Typically, you have Safekeeper, Dryad Arbor, Endurance, sometimes Ramanap, and then sometimes something like Outland Liberator as a sort of the Green Suns targets. Alright, we got nothing. Well, they found all their omniscience. That's pretty good. The extra protection is pretty brutal. Okay. That's pretty sweet. I assume they might have just Lattice here, which we do have the onboard for, but they then also just have a Khan. We can also kill the Khan potentially, because they get protection but not their planeswalkers. Ooh. Ooh, this is fine. They have 2 cards left. They target us. In response, we'll try to crop. Nice. We'll bog ourselves. Please don't have Stifle. That'd be brutal. Very cool to see this card getting more play in other decks. This does mean to get rid of the Khan, we'll have to swords this, because they could just block the endurance and then take 2. I have 2 cards left. Start with swords. Play the Dryad Arbor. Attack Khan. Turns on the Moxen, which is kind of cool, means we can now activate the Reclaimer if needed, but I'm going to assume this One Ring finds a win condition. Okay. If they use the Ancient Tomb or the Fetch Land, and they attack us with Emrakul, we do get to keep a creature. Yeah, the infinite mana with Omniscience is pretty funny. I think I'll just float. I assume it's Walking Ballista here. If it's Walking Ballista, I can't do much. I can get a fetch land. Might as well get Karakas if that's the case. They're not using the Khan? Oh no, of course, they were waiting for us to use the mana. Just telling my opponent if they have Ballista, they can tutor for it, show it, and then I'll concede. Nice. Interesting. I don't mind the Bowmasters. I don't mind really all of this. Thrull's interesting, but I guess Thrull actually hits the One Ring protection, which is worthy of noting. Swords is an easy cut. Typically Bojuka Bog. Typically Maze. Quick Reflexes. I do like the Thoughtseizes. Endurance can, like, Ramanap definitely, probably Wasteland as well. 26 lands with 3 Mox in is still fine. It could just be a Knight. A little bit too slow. Okay. Pretty happy with this. We're going to drop this Safekeeper for now. There is a world where we could have gone Yav into Green Suns for Dryad Arbor, and then crop rotation off the top is just a 2020 the following turn. I think I just like Reclaimer into deep Doorkeeper. Force. Wow. I really don't like that. Witherbloom's cool, but I don't think the deck needs it to any sort of extent. Mox. Okay. I think here I just like getting another Reclaimer. If I wanted to force the first one. Land off the tops means we can hold up Reclaimer and also Doorkeeper, which is kind of cool. I think we're just going to get Teeg here. Force. Okay. I did want to play the Mox because I was considering getting a Collector Ouphe. I do like just having 3 mana. But now I like Mox, Pitch, Step, hold up Doorkeeper, hold up Reclaimer. Yeah, I haven't really run into being built that much. Okay. This happens. 5 mana. They're just going to hardcast Emrakul. I think that's the play here. And Emrakul is a cast trigger, not an ETB. Don't think there's anything we can do here, unfortunately. Two Emrakuls does nothing, so it has to be another ring or a Khan. Hey Strass, hey Raj, welcome. Hope you're doing well. I think the only thing we can do here is actually use the Reclaimer to get a Flagstones and then have something left in the deck. Hey Harry, welcome. Oof. Yeah, 246. Yeah, but it's tough because even if we draw... We actually have no outs, because even if we draw into Karakas, they have the Grim. GG's. Tough. Funnily enough, like I did have Choke in the board, and then I took it out, but Choke against that deck doesn't really do a whole lot because they just have the Grim with Power Artifact, which is pretty tough. Alright. Double Yav is a little bit rough with no green. Sorry, with no white. I'm actually pretty happy to mulligan this hand. Okay, much better. Especially having Crop with Mox and Flagstones, so pretty happy to keep bottom Verdant. And then here we just want to go Flagstones, Mox to hold up turn 1 Crop. Or we have end step Crop away the Flagstones to get land and stage, which I don't mind. I kind of like that. And then we just have turn 2 Depths. And if we have the Crop force, we don't really mind. Crop is a lot of the time a 2-for-1, not in your favor. Force, okay. Oh, pitching Saruman. Interesting. Yes. Let's get Savannah here. Sauron, I apologize. That's a big one in the Lord of the Rings realm. I think here I'm happy to play the Depths into a Wasteland, because if we draw Stage off the top or Crop, it's nice to have. I guess it's mostly Stage. No, I'm happy to probably just throw Savannah into a Wasteland if they are going to be a scam deck. Could also just be like a blue-black Reanimator. Okay. Wasteland's interesting, but I'm not too sure what I'm actually worried about. Potentially like Animate Dead. I don't mind just doing it on upkeep. Nice. This is kind of a cool trick. So you get a Brainstorm, put 2 back, and then potentially put a creature that you want into the graveyard. Why would you waste, I guess now because they're tapped out, but why would you waste in my turn instead of their turn? What are you worried about? Yeah, I don't really care about Bowmaster. If they want to Bowmaster me, they have a 10-turn clock. If they have Stifle, I'd rather them use the mana in their turn, though. Not Stifle me than getting to untap. That's nice. Yeah, but that's fair. I thought you meant before they even tapped out. If the Reclaimer holds, we do have Bojuka Bog, which is nice. Interesting. Crop would be a pretty sweet draw. Knight's pretty good as well, but I actually think... on 3 cards, I did nothing last turn. Maybe now is the time to Knight. Worst case is like Entomb, Archon, Reanimate, which Reclaimer covers at the moment. I think I'm happy just passing here, especially with the Flagstones open. They could have maybe like hardcast Grief, but then they also tap off the Wasteland, which is great for us. Murktide's a little bit of a consideration, but we do have Maze of Ith. No fetch. There's like a little consideration for Murktide, but I'm going to just say they're not on Murktide. Let's get Scrub. And then I don't mind just getting... I could even get my own Wasteland. Wasteland them, they Wasteland us, we get rid of the land. But I do kind of like to stage. Thoughtseize is pretty cool. Gives us a lot of info. Reanimate, animate dead, double another Wasteland. Okay. Well then, that just makes me want to take the animate dead. Reanimate's a little bit awkward because it can hit us, but we don't have anything currently, so I think we just take the animate dead. Play the knight, and then just play fair. Especially knowing about the hand. Put them to 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9, put them to 5. Yeah, Relic's tough because Relic hits both players. So hitting your own graveyard can be pretty rough when you're trying to get through damage. No, don't have a relic for that reason. Do have ley lines. Ley lines just do the job a little bit cleaner. There's actually a lot for this matchup that you could bring in. Like all of these have good reasoning. I like taking out the Safekeeper, quick reflexes, the Thoughtseizes, the Karakas. Like Bowmaster could be overkill, but I definitely don't mind it. Liberator, you of course have Animate Dead, but if you're relying on the ley lines, you don't really care. You also have Paths to deal with Animate Dead creatures. I don't mind going down on a crop either. So up against a blue deck, and if we have the ley lines, we don't care about Crop the Bog as much. This is a one-lander, but it does have leyline and also access to Green Suns for Dryad Arbor, so I don't mind it. One thing to note is that Reanimate is definitely still online, because they can reanimate our own creatures. They chose to not shuffle. Mox a pretty awkward draw here. Is there a world where Mox is better than the land itself? It does play around Wasteland. I don't mind seeing if the Mox comes down. Okay. I like that Mox is really only open to bounce. Nice. I think here I'm pretty happy just to Green Suns for another Reclaimer. Okay, they're digging. And to be fair, at least if they have a bounce spell, at least it's not going towards the ley line. A land off the top would be great to hold up these, but if not, we just get to hold up sacking the Flagstones, and there you go, like leyline just does its work, which is really nice. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quickly. I'll be back in a second. There we go. All right. What was the round 1 matchup? It was... That's a great question. I'm trying to think now. Depths versus... Wow, I actually cannot remember. That's really bad. I don't mind this hand, especially with the Mox. We've played against Mono Blue, Blue Black Scam, Anada, and Maverick. It was actually Maverick, sadly. Yeah. 4-color map featuring both Moloch and Orcish Bowmasters. Yeah, this hand is nice. It has like turn 1 Reclaimer with Flagstones. If we draw a green source, I might even leave Mox green source Reclaimer with also, but obviously we're on the play. Oh, prismatic ending. Interesting. Haven't seen that in a little bit. Land is actually pretty nice here. I honestly just like Liberator Pass. If the Liberator takes a removal spell, pretty happy with that. Bowmaster. Okay. Maybe just so the Liberator doesn't flip. Okay. What is this? It's like an Esper control deck. They chose to shuffle. That's pretty big. Maroon Field. I think just because of Murktide, I'm happy to hit them here. Happy to play the Verdant just because of like the fairy bounce. We can kill it with Dryad Arbor if needed. And I like keeping the crop for the combo just in case we draw one piece. Narset. Okay. If they find a removal spell here, we can protect it, which is nice, and I think that's actually worth it. I'll get Scrub. Okay. I'm happy to get Dryad Arbor here. Just if they then want to use the Narset, they have to lose it. Obviously pretty open to something like Bowmaster, but... They don't currently have, like, Mystic Sanctuary online. They could cast a Murktide, but... I don't think it's... yeah. Like, I could pass with one Unknown in hand, but I think I'd rather just tap out here. Especially against this sort of deck, I want to have as much time as possible. We know about swords, but we really can't play around it. I guess there's a world where we could wait to try to draw like a Green Suns to like Safekeeper first, but... Fetching at 5 mana. To Fairy? Batterskull, okay. Yeah. So it is going to be Stoneblade. Which is pretty cool. Sort of deck's pretty sweet. The lifelink is really relevant here. Getting above 20 life means that of course we can't just one swing them. If we can see a little bit more of their deck before we get pummeled. This sort of deck. I really like the Bowmasters. I don't mind the Veils. Can see Bog coming out. Maze of Ith is kind of nice. Liberator is quite nice. We have Thoughtseize, which is pretty sweet. Quick Reflexes. Ramanap's pretty strong. Durance Knight. I could see Crops going down, just because we're not really looking for A, Karakas, B, Bog, or really going for the combo too quickly. It could just be A Mox. Teeg is one that I'm always considering. Especially if we deal with Stoneforge early on. Does stop Prismatic. Yeah, it could be like Teeg and then drop another land. Probably Echoing Deeps. They seem like a Rest in Peace style deck. I don't mind this. Oh, the Doorkeeper Thrulls are actually quite good because it stops... yeah, it stops the germs. I should have thought about that more. Pretty happy to mulligan this. A little bit too slow. Okay. Pretty happy to keep this. I think it's just the Reclaimer here. Or the Liberator. Let me just go turn on Dryad Arbor. Probably take the threat. No, okay. I guess Crop could potentially be a Wasteland effect. Second Night's always nice. Means that if they have a sword to the first, they might not for the second. Dismember. Okay. I guess Dismember's quite good against Magus, which I feel like would be good against their mana base. Missing a land drop is kind of tricky. Bowmaster. Oh, Stoneforge, okay. Cauldron. Okay, 3 cards in Cauldron. Really cool deck. Always love seeing different versions of Stoneblade in Legacy. Especially Esper. There's a sweet game on YouTube of, I think, Tom Martell and Esper. Cards like Lingering Souls. Hopefully this isn't me. No, it's their clock. Okay. Quite good. Not just a threat, but also the shuffle from the Brainstorm. Yeah, Safekeeper. Usually, like mid-game, I like it, just because you don't want to put it out when you don't actually have the lands to afford to throw away. But typically move towards the combo and then have a Safekeeper plan as backup. The issue is that Kaldra can put a lot of pressure on you, which might cause you to play Safekeeper earlier on, which then might take you off the mana that you need to then combo off. Pretty happy to play the insurance. I don't really want any of that, so I'm just going to leave it. Yeah, it is a very challenging matchup, I find. And there's the rest in pieces we talked about. Is it even worth? Yeah. Just bodies. It's a little bit tough if they have removal now for the Trap Breaker, because we won't be able to obviously use it, but I think that's okay. They chose to shuffle. The issue is here, they can even just like attack with the Batterskull and always hold up Kaldra. Okay, but now they give us the chance to actually interact, which is kind of cool. Ah, no. Yeah. I don't see us getting that. Really tough one. One thing I do miss is Sylvan Library, but then you kind of want to play the Bowmasters in the main deck to have an answered Bowmaster, but then you're just playing more cards that aren't really part of the combo. Probably taking out Thoughtseize, which I think is pretty strong because it allows you to protect your combo but also interact with opponents that might be quicker or have an answer. But finding like a good card advantage engine is pretty tough without blue. But you also get 20/20s, so there's a bit of give and take. Alright, on the play, which is nice. And wow, actually a hand with no green mana. So I don't think we're going to keep this. Okay. Pretty happy to keep this, bottom the Bayou, and then just fetch up the Bayou. Because Bayou turn 1 allows Bayou Thoughtseize, and then Wasteland Reclaimer the following turn. Okay. They have the Mox. I actually like taking the Mox here. Hey Timmy C. Sadly not. I'm away next week. I'll be back for Highlander the following week. Oh, we don't have green mana here. Ah, that was something to consider for sure. I didn't even think about the Scrubland. Yeah. Yeah, I think we should have put back the Scrubland, kept the Bayou and the Windswept. Their mana's a little bit awkward as well. Like, they only have the Windswept right now as colored mana. They play a Saga, okay. And then probably Map. Yeah. This is the case. Ooh, yeah. Honestly, I think here I'm happy to Wasteland the Saga. Keep them off loam for as long as possible. The Shadow Spear might actually force them to fetch here, which is good for us. Because if we can find a green source off the top, Exploration. Okay. Play the maze. Nice. Cast Mox, pitch, deep. So I could crop for Wasteland here and Wasteland them, so that they only have the maze, and it would have to be something like a Yavimaya off the top to allow them to kind of get there. Which I think this turn we just have to. And then next turn we can play the Reclaimer. It really comes back to our choice of the Scrubland. Play Reclaimer. If they don't draw a land, yeah. Unfortunate, but I think we're just in that position. Especially while they can't crop either. Oh, they found the Yav. That's a tough one. Yeah, I think Thoughtseize adds a lot to the deck. It slows down other combo decks. Plays well into the decks with actual removal. Yeah, I don't think it's worth playing this one. The ley lines I really like. The Collector Ouphe and the Forces. That's really it. Safekeeper, 1 Depths. The Thoughtseize. Sometimes I like taking out the swords, but it could be a mix 2 and 2. But yeah, I know Sprouts has had really good challenge results with Abzan with Thoughtseize. And a lot of the time, if you put too much in the toolbox of the deck, you just become a worse version of Depths and a worse version of Maverick. But I kind of like just having like simple answers to some of the issues that the deck has game 1. Then game 2, if you really need it, you have things like Teeg or Ouphe or Doorkeeper. But I would say this matchup is all about entering the engines. So things like Loam, of course. Exploration isn't that tricky by itself, but can definitely get out of hand. I honestly don't mind the paths over the swords, because a lot of the time they run 1 basic forest. Maybe the green-white versions run a few more, but our win condition is usually combat damage. Mox, Maze isn't too bad. Yeah. A little bit slow. We do potentially have a turn 2 knight, so I will keep this. Bayou into Dryad Arbor. Echoing Deep's becoming a saga is kind of cool. But no Force of Vigor is the big one. No Leyline either. I think it's just enough. There goes the forest. Double Mox. Interesting. Maybe holding up Endurance here. Reflexes is pretty sweet. I think I'd rather just get the Knight into play than try to hold up Reflexes the following turn. But typically the green-white decks side into 4 swords, which is something to consider. Green Suns for Collector Ouphe here is pretty strong. Okay, there it is. They now have no green mana, so I can Wasteland the Saga here. Yeah, really tough spot for them. Obviously having the quick Reflexes back up as well is quite nice. I don't think we would want to change anything. I think the Saga I kind of care about, but I think it doesn't matter, honestly. I think both ways lead you well. They do have an exploration, so potentially like 2 lands, make a dude, it's a 3/3. I don't think it cares. I don't think it really matters, Jack. I think it's worth diving into. Guess especially with the quick Reflexes, like we have that as removal, which is quite nice. Yeah, Safekeeper is definitely interesting. Maybe that's better than like 1 Thoughtseize, just because they are playing swords. A Leyline or a Force opening would be really cool. That's true. With Reflexes, I could have gone after both, yeah. No green mana, which is a little bit tough, but kind of a cool hand. I don't mind trying this out, especially being 2/2. I'd like to see where a hand like this goes. Oh, they're running Sphere? Okay. Well, at least here we have Wasteland on the Sphere. Sorry, only Ancient Tomb to slow them down. And that also just buys us a bit of time. Saga's fine. Fetchland would be kind of cool. Depths. Okay. I think it's the stage I care about the least. I thought it was 2 mana. Yeah, I should have definitely used the Force of Vigor there. That's on me. I guess here then we're just playing the Scrubland. Yeah, for some reason I thought the Sphere was 2. Get rid of these 2, pay for it. It's probably just the crop. Nice. I don't mind just getting a basic here, honestly. And then just playing out Reclaimer. There's a world where Ouphe is also a green source for them, so yeah, I don't mind Ouphe, especially with the green source for Reclaimer next turn. There's definitely a lot of different ways you could play this opening. And you can see as well how, like, there are a lot of green sources in the deck, but it can come pretty slowly for you. Yeah, opponent didn't find a green source either, which is pretty tough for them. Alright, well, we finished 3-2, which isn't too bad. It is a real shame we can't sloth up. I'd love to be able to sloth on MTGO, but here we are. It looks like Ramar is playing some Legacy, which is cool. So I'm going to send you guys over there. A huge thank you for coming in. Enjoy your weekends. I'm away for a week, so if you want to find some content, it'll be on YouTube over the coming days. Have 2 leagues going live, so yeah, hope you enjoy that.